Is it, oh, there we go. Okay, 5 o'clock, want to call to order the regular board meeting of the Mendocino City Community Service District at 5 o'clock at the wastewater treatment plant. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody that the agenda today actually is fairly limited. We have a pretty fast agenda, I think. We will have public expressions as usual. I don't know if there's any communication, the brief financial report, and the only real business on it is a pretty straightforward change to an investment policy, I think. So with that in mind, I want to remind all members of the board and the public that we welcome public participation. That public comment on any specific item is limited to 3 minutes. And all interactions we expect to be by a modicum of civility and hopefully a modicum of brevity. We can get started. So approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any corrections to the agenda for today's meeting? Okay, someone want to make a movement to approve?
I move to approve the agenda.
And history move.
I agree with. Second.
Right, Andrea,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this is time for public expression for non-agenda items. And again, as a reminder, because of the Brown Act, although we encourage people to raise issues of concern, the board cannot comment on anything that is not on the agenda, except maybe to answer a really simple question or clarify a fact. Any public expression?
Yeah, I would.
This is Jim.
Yes, I'd like to repeat my request that some sort of could you actually agendize a discussion of could we explore whether or not groundwater management works? What does that mean? How will we know? Doesn't have to be deep philosophical, epistemological kind of stuff, but just some sciencey stuff would be nice. Yeah. And why would I be interested in that? I think personally, I don't know if it can work, honestly. So if it can't work, then something else should be done. And so I think that while we're in a comfortable water year kind of situation, that would be a better time than during a crisis to have that community conversation. Seems that the five towns water thing is perhaps gone away. I don't know, whatever. But it'll go back. It's probably better to have that discussion when there's plenty of water than when it's time to fight over water. A few meetings ago, I heard your question concerning lawyer fees and to wit, Jesus, do we really need to be spending $72,000 a year on lawyers? How can we not do that? I would venture something like don't do illegal stuff would be a good way. One of my interests in this groundwater stuff is I just my impression is I have an overlying right to the groundwater in my yard, and I'm not sure the procedures to make that right be diminished have been followed here. So, and others may feel the same way. I don't know. Again, let's find towns and water and have that conversation while there's plenty of water. Nice wet year. Yay. Oh, I think I'm less than 3 minutes in. That's it.
Good timing. Thank you. Okay, there's no other public expression. Do we have any communications, Ryan?
Nothing to report?
Okay. Katie, you want to do the October disbursements for the financial report?
Sure. Let's see, this month, anything over $3,000. We have O'Connor and Company, that is the auditor. We have Roy's Sewer Service, that was the camera work that was sent in town. We have Golden State Risk Management, which is our monthly benefits and health insurance benefits. We have PG&E, which was quite high in October. I will just let you know that the bill for November came in $5,000 less than the October bill, so it really does fluctuate quite a bit. We have the Wallen Construction, it's the pass-through large checks from the state. DXP, that's the, help me out.
Reinstallation of our effluent pump. It's a contractor from the Bay Area.
Mendez is our, chlorine.
Correct.
GHD, again, a pass-through amount. And yes, paychecks, and then on the last page, it was just a transfer from one account to another account, in the amount of $57,700, and that was because we paid our USDA portion came out and it gets automatically withdrawn from that account, so I moved mine over so that way it would be here. And that is it as far as auditor checks go. Do you have any questions?
No, no.
Before you sign it, there should be a motion and a vote.
Okay. So could we have a motion to approve the disbursements for October?
I move we approve.
I'll second. Done, second?
Any questions? No?
No.
Okay, great. Let's see. Andrea,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Ishvi.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we are now at item 6, the consent agenda, which I think the only thing on it is approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Does anyone have a question about those minutes that were in the packet?
Nope.
Okay, then I will move that we approve the minutes.
I second it.
Okay, Andrea,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Ishvi.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't think we have anything on the consent agenda. So we can move to new business, which is really the only non-procedural thing we're doing tonight, other
I
than
think the
hearing.
approval of the minutes was in the consent agenda.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at discussion and possible action. It always confuses me that there's this item 7, which is separate
Yeah.
from item 6. So I was thinking, okay, that's good, it did it. New business. This is about revising our investment policy. And I noticed actually, sorry, I just noticed this last minute, so I'd mention it, that the original isn't here really. It's sort of here by inference, that the original, one of the things in it was to limit the amount we could invest as our reserves in any financial institution. And so what this is doing is accepting LAIF from that limit. So that what's limited to 250, which is the FDIC insured limit. And so this is saying we want to be able to invest more than that in LAIF, which again, as a reminder, is a government run or associated entity, and is a huge fund. It holds CalPERS. It's not going to go broke until the state of California goes broke, or falls into the ocean, in which case we don't have to worry. So this is, as Jim just noted, is to increase the amount that we can invest or deposit in LAIF from 250 to 1.5, which is well above what we have now, but it gives us headroom.
Yeah.
So I would like to open discussion on this, and
It makes sense, right? I mean, that's what we did. We looked into it and we found out that this organization was better than any returns we could get on any banks, and we were already working with them, so
Yeah,
we might as well stick with it.
they're about 4% now, right? For the.
it goes up and
investments
down,
income.
but when I looked at it, if you look at it as the movement's over, because they are so safe.
Yeah.
Well,
Little
they
fluctuation,
get a
but
lot of demand, so,
Okay.
yeah, it seems to be a good return.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay, so I will move that we approve resolution 2025-325.
I'll second that.
Sorry, who seconded?
I did.
Thank you.
Before we vote, is there any public comment on it?
Good call.
Seems like it.
Nope.
So, Andrea,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Fishy,
Yes.
thank you.
Brings us to the district superintendent's monthly report, Ryan.
Hey.
It's a good one. Nothing but the hits.
Rough page 10.
November 2025 superintendent's report. Operators performed routine repair and maintenance at the wastewater treatment plant in November 2025. I don't want to say this too loud, but there were 0 plant alarm call outs for the month
Wow.
as of the 13th when I printed this
As
report.
of the 17th,
Yeah.
it's still true?
Yeah, we had one after hours call out at our Heiser lift station. When PG&E was doing some work down by the bridge project. I arrived and found everything operating normally and the generator running. So power was out, the generator kicked on like it's supposed to, everything was functional. The wet well level was down, so it all did its job and was a good test. RF McDonald responded today. They just got finally a tracking number for our filter valves that we ordered, and they're gonna come the week of December 8th. I'm gonna install those. And they're gonna come also the week prior to do some annual service to our dryer, the boiler side of the dryer. That's great that they're coming. I also want to knock on wood, our bar screen problems seem resolved. We had a good video conference call with the tech in Canada and adjusted some of the power settings on the breaker, so it's less sensitive on the new breaker, and it hasn't faulted since. So that's great. Our CASGIM monthly groundwater report was turned into the county. And GHD submitted a proposal to update the district asset management plan and provide a brief assessment that would include recommendations for some priority projects. So I brought up to them that I gave the operations committee recently an operational assessment of most of the equipment here at the plant. But we haven't had a recent engineer's assessment of how much useful life is left, how much, the cost of replacement. And these can be really expensive. They can also be very helpful when you are in the process of writing grants or seeking the funding, because the state really likes to hear from the engineers what the condition of the equipment. But due to the recent sort of cutback in grant funding and grant programs, we don't have a current new grant application going out that we're seeking. That requires this assessment, but I do think it's useful information. But it's expensive.
It's expensive to get to do the
For
assessment.
GHD to look at, say the dryer, the bar screen, and the press, and say how much life they think is left, $30,000. And we haven't budgeted for that. and I'm not asking the board for approval, just putting it on everyone's radar. I did reach out to see what it would cost to do this and to see what they're offering and have an idea.
So ballpark's 30,000. Right?
30,000 is in the proposal they provided.
Okay.
Then there's really no, I know that you put out grant applications in the past to get some assessment, some engineering assessment of this, and they have always been turned down.
Recently, the funding requests that we put out to get, and that's not just for equipment at the plant, that's collection system, that's everything, assessment. The state program that we applied to has denied us for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just something for awareness at this point. Nothing to report on the outfall. We've not transferred any recycled water for the month. We did not transfer any biosolids for the month. Related to grants and projects, FEMA has requested some additional paperwork. We thought we filed the closeout, but apparently not. It was closeout. And now they want some more information. No current ETA on any funding.
How much would that be? Should it ever be released?
But 30,000?
24.
Oh, because we had to pull out the forced labor, 24,000. And it has consumed a good deal of Katie's time. I don't know that it's $24,000 worth, but we'll still be ahead when we get some funding. The most recent Safer group meetings, again, were canceled. We learned that GHD's project manager, Holly, is leaving GHD. And so a new project manager was just assigned to the project. In fact, there may have been a meeting this morning that I got an email, a notification of it on my computer, but I wasn't here due to another obligation. And but I understand so we didn't get to meet the new project manager yet. And we understand GHD is working on amendments to their work plan with the state, which includes an update to the groundwater model, the existing groundwater model. Nothing to report on the recycled water upgrade project, aside from the fact that Matt Kennedy will be here to discuss some electrical planning issues with me on Thursday. Where else? Nothing new to report on the MUSD potable water storage project. The safety meeting this month was confined space awareness. Operators conducted a safety equipment inspection where we looked at 4 gas meters and breathing apparatus and other safety equipment. There were no safety incidents to report for the period. And we have a member of staff who's going to attend a CPR and first aid course on November 20th. And there were no sanitary sewer overflows to report for the period.
So Ryan, when you said there's nothing to report on the storage project, I know we had a deadline for incurring costs on that of next month, right? Into next month?
Yeah, my understanding is that deadline was pushed out.
Okay,
I believe to the end of March.
okay. And that should give us time.
Our portion of what's done should be completed by then.
That's great. It's great.
Was there anything with the biosolids delivery this last month that was a problem when you went down to?
Yeah, there was. So an operator took a load down to Novato, when got to the front gate and he said, hard stop, we're not taking your biosolids. And they didn't have any details, and we found out Waste Management just lost the check. So 2 week.
So it
late
was
check.
that
We called,
we hadn't paid.
we made a payment by credit card and everything's back to normal.
So it was that, not
Yeah, but
okay.
it sounded like, well, what's going on here? But yeah, it's just
Is there a reason we can't take that to Tunzi's Ranch in County where all the rest of the waste goes?
for biosolids itself, we'd have to investigate what his license is, what he's approved for the state.
Because I mean, he takes all the porta potty waste, so I
Yeah.
would think that biosolids would be cleaner
It's
than that.
it's worth a conversation.
They might have a waste restriction.
Yeah.
You never know.
I don't know.
Well, it might be
look
worth a
at.
check, because I mean,
Yeah.
that's where all the porta potties go, and it's just halfway to County.
Sure. No, I don't doubt that it probably wasn't investigated in the past. But I can reinvestigate.
Yeah, just call Dundee, it just occurred to me.
Any other comments?
No, on that same lines, maybe we should start taking blue room deposits. We could maybe make money doing that. This would be a lot better place to dump them than out in Comshy.
So there is the district has a policy in there that we would have to look over in more detail about septic haulers and how much waste and BOD content and issuing septic hauler permits and what we can and can't take. Yeah, we don't want to overload the plant.
Right, but we're not operating anywhere close to capacity and.
No, but sometimes the sludge is brought in as septic. If it's been pumped out of somebody's system or there's a lot more sludge or higher content, and then putting it all in at once as a slug can be an issue. So a lot of times what they'll do is plants, septic receiving stations will have a tank, like a holding tank that the truck pumps into, and then you slowly release it into your plant over time. I know it took Fort Bragg quite a while to get theirs set up and in. We can look at it.
All right,
No,
just an idea. Maybe
on a
revenue
page
stream.
Yeah, no, it's good to look at revenue streams. Yeah.
Does that run into any kind of LAPCO issue?
Accepting out of district waste. Potentially. I mean, it's all stuff to be investigated, and staff are happy to look into it. But I recall reading about it in our sanitary sewer master plan. Our management plan. Thanks, good report.
Yep.
Groundwater management report. October 1st, 2025 was the beginning of the 25-26 rain year. Average annual precipitation in Mendocino is 39.41 inches, and average annual rainfall in November is 4.99 inches. As of November 13th, the printing of the report, 4.18 inches of rainfall have been measured in the district. We got another 2.2 last night, and about a quarter inch the day before. So we're above average now for the month. As of November 14th, we are at 14.7% of total rainfall for the year. Total rainfall for 24-25 was 43.18 inches. Mendocino received 110% of normal annual rainfall during the last water year. By November 13th, total rainfall was 5.81 inches, 14.7% of average annual rainfall. Obviously increased since then. Average depth to water measurement in the district-wide 24 monitoring wells, November 11th, was 17.4 feet, about 1 foot better than October of 2025. The depth to water averages in the 5 drought monitoring wells reported an average of 20.8 feet, about 1.25 feet higher than October of 2025. Depth to water averages are a quarter foot lower than November of 2024 and about 0.7 feet better than November of 2023. So between 23 and 24, we're kind of right in the middle. Following the water shortage contingency plan, the next evaluation date is January 31, 2026. As of November 7th, 2025, hydrological testing period for properties within MCCSD seeking a groundwater extraction permit is closed. The testing period may reopen again on August 20th, 2026, depending on rainfall in the coming months. Any clarification questions?
Any public comment on either the district superintendent report or the groundwater management report?
Maybe one question. So did I hear it right? If someone wanted to develop their vacant lot and they would have to do a hydrological survey, they couldn't do that until after August 1st,
Correct, you're supposed to test during the dry season to know if your well can produce and it's impacting your neighbors.
We get the permit just in time for the rainy season, it's quick. Well, that's absurd, but that's what I got cut out, sorry. It's groundwater management, guys, I just don't, I love the sewer plant. Love the sewer plant. Let's be honest about how much money you need to run that thing and just stop
Okay.
off groundwater, and is my earnest.
Yes. We heard your comment earlier in the meeting.
You will continue to hear it until I, like I've been hurt.
So I did have a question actually about the average rainfall in Mendocino. What period is that measured over? When you say it's 39 point ever, whatever inches it was?
Year, average annual.
No. When you're saying we're above, what's the average that we're above or below?
Go back 100 years, how far back are we averaging?
So when I said with 39.41,
Yeah.
we have rainfall records, I believe, going back to about 100 years.
So that's a moving average. We just keep adding
Yeah.
history.
So like the late
Because it
seventies
seems-
and eighties were really, really wet,
Yeah.
and the late nineties were really wet. Some, 80, 90 inches a year, but now we haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think when I started here in 2020, the average annual rainfall was right around 40 inches.
That's what I was
And
remembering
then
about
we had
40.
those real dry years and it brought it down to like 19.2, 19.3, and then it's.
That's hard to believe that a few dry years could move a 100-year
Wait,
average.
the average went all the way down to 19 now.
I'm sorry, 39.
39.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, it was less than an inch.
that could be, yeah.
Right, but
That's still a big movement on a 100-year average. Just from a couple of dry years.
Yeah.
We lost a winter. You added up 2 winters and we had 35 inches.
Right, there were 2 really dry
It's
years.
like, holy crap, the
Yeah.
19 to 20 was.
That's still
and then 20
versus 98 other years. That's a big
Oh,
movement.
yeah. But there were really no like 90-inch years, and
Yeah.
My neighbor gave me a card once, printed, I had 100 years of rainfall, so I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh, okay, you may have all had one of these.
Yeah, savings bank puts.
Yeah, there weren't that many big fat years.
Yeah.
There weren't that many like really, damn, that's dry year. There's also like no average years, of course, but it's very,
Yeah.
the amplitude has been something else.
Okay. All right, without further comment, we are on committee updates. I don't think we have any agendized committee updates.
So we're hoping for a personnel committee meeting coming in early December.
Yeah. I think, yes, that's right. So I think that brings us to the adjournment. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
I motion we adjourn.
I second it.
Favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.